right, let's see. I forgive you for being so fat. I forgive you for not taking care of yourself. Oh, I forgive you for being ugly. I forgive you for being so stupid. I forgive you for being so nasty. I forgive you for not listening. I forgive you for not paying attention. I forgive you for being so ignorant. I forgive you for being a horrible driver, for being so stupid. I forgive you for being stupid. What am I talking about right now? What am I talking about? I'm actually sharing with you an activity of my mind that has occurred, I don't know, just activity that has occurred in my mind. The conversation of forgiveness of really gross, rude things, like ideas and thoughts that showed up in my mind about people. That person's fat, that person's stupid, this person's nasty, that person's rude, that person's ignorant. My mind has these kinds of thoughts from time to time. I'm not ashamed. There's like conditioning and patterning that's created this neurology in this body through the circumstances of being alive on planet Earth and being part of this conversation and culture. And that has resulted in this body giving those thoughts like, so that's not me. It's cool. It's just happening. It's like, I don't get mad at the wind for blowing the leaves. It's just happening. So it's just happening in me, right? And it's just real. The more honest I am with that, the more freedom I get to have, because the more opportunity I have to do this thing I call forgiving. I call it, everybody calls it. It's a thing. And I'm becoming so obsessed with forgiveness, obsessed with forgiving myself and forgiving others. Ooh, forgiving others is like even better. It's even better. It's so much fun because it's so much more accessible and easy than forgiving myself. And as you'll get if you watch a lot of my videos, that forgiving another person is an act of forgiving the self, because there is no self in other, but that's a whole other story. Let's stay focused, trying to make these videos shorter. I forgive you for being fat or stupid, because if I think that you're any of those things, it's actually a judgment against you. And how is that a problem for me? Because, well, back to that point, there is no self and other. If I'm judging you, I'm judging myself. It's an expression of my own non-acceptance of myself as not thin enough or fit enough or beautiful enough or smart enough. And so as long as I'm judging you as that judgment towards self is active. It's alive in my body right now. I'm living in the prison of that non-acceptance of who I am in any moment that I judge you. And so you, as your fat, stupid, slobby, ignorant, rude, nasty self, are an opportunity for me to set myself free from the thought that I am any of those things. And here is how we most often inoculate ourselves from the possibility for that freedom. We use our intellectual mind to tell ourselves things like, oh, I shouldn't say that. Oh, I shouldn't think that about that person. Oh, it's not actually true that they're fat. They might be the right size for their body. Hey, they're only stupid if you rate intelligence in this way or that way. Maybe they're emotionally intelligent and I've got this kind of intelligence. We have some kind of fucking stupid, crazy, irrational, intellectual argument. Well, we think it's rational. We make up some intellectual argument about why that judgment that we have, that we're expressing towards another person, isn't true and isn't real, and we shouldn't say it. And so two things happen. We try to rationalize away the expression of judgment outwardly through this alternate explanation. And also, we tell ourselves that we're wrong for doing it. What we've just done is we've distracted ourselves from the actual truth that we are actually judging somebody in that moment by coming up with some intellectual argument. Our actual body is still judging them. Our felt system is still expressing that energy of wrongness. But we've distracted ourselves from it with an intellectual argument of otherwise. We don't actually feel that to be true. We just are distracting ourselves with an argument of otherwise. And on top of that, we've judged ourselves as a meta judgment for judging the person in the first place. So it's like, I call it the double slap. It's like you slap yourself, then you slap yourself for slapping yourself. It's like, shit. We've distracted through intellectual argument, and we've judged ourselves for the judgment. We're super fucked now. We've just buried ourselves deeper. Like, I wasn't enough in the first place for not being fit, but I'm now also not enough for judging a person that they're not fit. Shit. I don't want to do that. So, Instead, what do I want to do? I want to forgive myself for that idea that I'm not enough. But how do I do that? Well, here's a shortcut. Just forgive that person for being fat. Yeah, but intellectually I can see that they're not fat. That's just an idea. Yeah, but who gives a shit? Because right now, you intellectually seeing that isn't actually letting go of the judgment. The actual embodied experience inside your fucked up reality that a person should be any particular weight is that they are too much, which is an expression of you being too much. And so the way to unhook yourself from it is not to intellectually argue it away, it's just to forgive, which is to, if you saw another video I did recently, is to unjudge, or to even simply to judge them as not too fat. To say I forgive you for being too fat is to say I stop judging you for being too fat. I hold your fat as innocent. It's okay that you're the weight that you are. I'm not saying it's not fat. I'm saying it's okay. You're innocent in your fatness. And then, in the space of the forgiveness for the being of fat, I'm leaving the logical interpretation. I'm leaving my representational system in place of your fatness. I'm just making it okay because now you're innocent. In the space of that innocence, my body relaxes. My heart opens. And in that space, then, if I choose to consider the possibility that you're not actually fat, and I can see it, there's a different experience of that seeing. When I see the possibility that it's actually just one way of seeing this body is that you're fat, but another way of seeing it is that you're perfect and you're beautiful, with my heart open, that reality is so much more useful and valuable to me because I can actually feel it in my body and it can actually be true for me. It's not just some logical argument that I'm trying to use to argue away a judgment that my body has, but it's an actually felt truth and a felt experience. And so with an open heart, an alternate reality to the one that the judgment was utilizing has much more power. And then it can actually start to become true for you, and you can actually start to see people differently. And I found that the more that I actually forgive, the more space that I actually have to really and truly see things differently. And the more I actually really and truly with an open heart see things differently, the less those judgments actually show up, because I've not only forgiven, but I've created a new inculcated reality in my nervous system, in my way of seeing, that's actually true for me. It's not just an argument in the courthouse of my psyche. It's actually true for me now that people of different sizes are all lovable and equal and innocent just as they are, and there's no need to judge them as this or that or anything anymore. It goes away. It goes away, but it goes away not through rational argument and intellectual, jujitsu, but it goes away through forgiveness in the heart open space. And that's also a great way of not judging yourself for judging people, which is an expression of judging yourself. You don't want to judge the judge. That doesn't get you anywhere. So if you can't feel my energy of excitement for forgiveness, then you probably got this shit on mute and you're not watching the screen. But I'm obsessed with forgiveness. And if you want to join me in the freedom that's possible through forgiving every single person out there that's doing anything that might make you feel like you're not free, then I would love you to join me in Creating.School. You can go to Creating.School to click the join button and subscribe. We have a community of people that are engaged in the active process of creating themselves in such a way that they experience reality. No matter what's happening out there, they experience it in a way that has them be happy, at peace, and fulfilled. And they also create an idea of themselves in the world that has them show up from the morning to the night in a way that's productive and certain, and believing that whatever they want to create is possible. Therefore, they're taking action that actually generates material results in the world. More sex with your partner, more money in your bank account, more of anything that you want in life actually happening. But starting with that place of peace and foundation, that foundation of peace and freedom. Anyway, Creating.School, read about it. Join us. If you have questions, let me know. I look forward to seeing you there. Bye.